Good morning, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome back to Madrid after yesterday's interrupted stream following a little YouTube outage. So apologies first of all to anyone who went back to watch that. It appears for some reason only the last 15 minutes seem to be available, which is a little bit of a pain, so sorry about that. Nothing I can do unfortunately to resolve that now, but we are back in Madrid this morning and headed to one of our favourite airports. Of course, everyone likes to see a landing at Gibraltar, but the good news is that it's actually the easy option today. The prevailing winds are telling us that it's going to be a runway 27 arrival, so no flying around the rock today, unless we ever go around, in which case we have to fly around the rock so we don't hit it. But we've got nice weather, and really I'll show you the operational flight plan in a moment. In fact, before I forget, let me get that pinned in the chat for those of you watching on YouTube. So that's all done. OFP is now available for anyone that wants to see what we're doing. Now, strangely enough as well, you may recall if you were watching yesterday's stream that my Navigraph was telling me that there was an update available. I kept saying go away, I'll sort that later. Anyway, I haven't sorted it. And Navigraph has now gone one step further. I don't know where it's gone. It's disappeared from my computer. So I'm going to have to try and show you any charts that I want to refer to on the EFB. I don't know if that still works following sim update number 8. So whilst I do have access to charts here on my physical tablet, if I don't have charts to show you during the stream today, once again, my apologies. I could download Navigraph charts now, but to be honest, the thought of upsetting the system and doing something like that whilst running the streaming software in Microsoft Flight Simulator, well, that's just a recipe for disaster. So I'm hopeful that we can get them on the EFB, so that will work. Right, let's welcome you guys all on board this morning. Hello to Ewald, Danny, Spitfire, David Butler, Brian Crawley, J-Hog. Don't stay up late, J-Hog, it's bad for you. Although you're retired, you can do what you want. Finnish Sim Pilot, British Aviator, good morning to you guys. Nick Burrows, thanks for coming along as well, Nick. Hope you're well. Lewis Aviation, good morning. Oh, sorry to see you lost 3-0 last night, Nick. Lewis, sorry. No, hopefully we'll give you something to smile about this morning. Cameron, good morning to you. Ace Airstream, hello. Good to see you live this morning as well. Mantoga Z, hello. And Simac, the VMR file is in the pilot's briefing room on our Discord server. Willie Canuck, good morning, Willie. How many spreadsheets do you have open this morning? Hopefully we'll keep you entertained whilst you're working your way through those. And Ian, g'day guys, nice to be able to watch one live. Yeah, this is the sort of time which is perfect for our Australian and New Zealand audience, so shout out to you guys on this Thursday. I guess it'll be Thursday evening now for you, won't it? Dr. Magic, good morning as well, and Christian's here too. Right, well, the aircraft is in a nice cold and dark state, so we're going to go and get on board and set that up. So let's jump on. So as I said, nice cold and dark. Let me I just got a couple of things here to sort out and then we'll crack on. Okay, so first of all, it's worth noting that we have no ATC. We are on VATSIM, but there is no ATC. Live weather, live time. This is not a real world flight, by the way, so we're going to be using our generic call sign of Alpine 34 Alpha Mike this morning. So, battery voltage is good. We'll get those turned on. External power on. Crew supply, ground control, CRV test. And we'll get the ideas 1, 2, 3. Nav logo lights. No smoking signs, armed emergency lights. Get the packs off before we start to power those up. And of course, we can leave the refueling pump. We can leave the fuel pumps off whilst we refuel. APU fire test. That's okay. Engine 1 and engine 2. So a couple of you as well noticing the takeoff runway. Yes, the runway in use at the moment, 36 right. It's got to be a long taxi. We'll take extra fuel on board for that. In fact, we'll check the OFP and see what that suggests for the taxi. It's a little bit Amsterdamish, isn't it? Right, let's get the tablet turned on. We're going to be using this today. We don't normally use it too much during flights, but if I'm going to be referring to charts, hopefully I can have this on here for you guys to see. So let me pull in the information for the flight, and we've got our current QNH, which is 1017. Oh, that's going to take 12 seconds to initialize. Well, whilst I'm waiting for that, we might as well get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Really well, can I increase the noise of the engines and reduce the sound from VATSIM? You love hearing the engines on startup. I'm yet to discover how to reduce the sound from VATSIM, so my apologies for that. But VATSIM shouldn't be too much of an issue today because there's no ATC. Right, APU is starting. What was that QNH again? Was it 1017? Okay, let's go through the setup. 1017 and skid is on. Let's come down to the pedestal and check. We're currently on Unicom. We'll just pop some of the integral lighting up. So audio control panel is all fine. Spoilers are up. Switching, thrust levers, engine masters, engine mode selector, parking brake, gravity gear extension. Flight door is currently open. Flaps 0. Let's set transponder is on, and we're going to squawk 2000. So this is a full cold and dark setup this morning, so I have to go through every scan. Up to the FCU 1017, pop constraints turned on. Turn up the brightness on those as well. Nice day today though, lots of sunshine. I expect our initial climb out is going to be 13,000, so we'll set that. And then we'll just turn the brightness of the screens on as well. Interesting, that's the first time I've seen the screens not actually turned completely off. So perhaps that's something that the team at Fly-by-Wire have introduced from a cold and dark state. We'll turn these off for now actually, just because I'm going to be using the AFB and it's handcrafted airport, so again we're just saving power with those frame rates. Good, so if we could be away for 11 o'clock that'd be quite nice. We've got the everything that's set up. APU is running. Let's get APU bleed on. Just start a quick timer for that, and then we can start getting passengers on board. Okay, let's have a look then. So, fuel. Now this is where it's going to be a little bit interesting. So, let's just come over here and show you what I'm thinking. So here's our operational flight plan. Now, weather's not too bad today. Weather's going to be, in fact, the weather's really kind to us today. We've got a planned block fuel of 4.3 tons. Now, if we just scroll down and we have a look at all the factors that we look at when making a fuel decision, the weather in Gibraltar, there's not really any reason why we shouldn't be able to get in. In fact, have a look at this. We've got a crosswind component of 0. It's bang down the line at the moment, the wind coming into Gibraltar, and even the alternate at Malaga, it's cav okay. So there really isn't any reason why we shouldn't be able to get into Gibraltar. But what you can't mitigate against is things like wind shear, which we know is prevalent at Gibraltar due to the rock, etc. So there is always that chance that we're going to have a go around and maybe just anything can happen. So it's always worth taking a little bit of extra fuel, and we do this anyway, particularly now because APU is running for longer because of COVID, etc. And if we also scroll down as well, we just have a look at the SIGMET charts down here, you'll see that we've actually got quite an area of icing up to 19,000 feet. So we're probably going to have anti-ice on as well. That's going to burn a little bit more fuel as well. We've also got quite a long taxi, as we've already identified. So there's definitely a few reasons why we'd want to take extra fuel. In fact, if we have a look, what taxi has it given us? It's given us 230 kilograms of taxi. Well, the normal is 200. So I don't think there's any shame in taking 5 tons. Well, that's 0.7 tons heavier, of course, which means, in theory, our landing weight is going to be, what did I say? We're going to take 0.7 tons extra, which means our landing weight is going to be about 58 point... I mean, if we call it 58.5, because this aircraft I don't think burns fuel exactly the same as SimBrief suggests anyway. So a landing weight of 58.5 tons. Well, that's all right, but we also know Gibraltar's got quite a short runway. So 58.5 tons, I need to be able to be certain that we can stop there. So we need to go to our landing calculator even before we've taken off. Let's pop this in. and we'll get the METAR for that. Runway slope, do you know what? I can use the SimSmart to work that out because I'm not doing it manually. So LXGB, just give us the runway slope for 27. Oh, there it is, 0.02. So there we go. The runway landing distance available, well, this is where I need the charts. Now, just to speed this up a little bit, I'm going to just use Navigraph here on my actual tablet. So the landing distance available at Gibraltar, if we have a quick look at that, runway 27 is 1,528 meters, 1528. And the approach speed, well, let's call it, for now, we'll be a little bit conservative. Let's call it 137. It probably won't be that high. Let's call it 137. And our weight was, what was it, 58.5 tons. There we go. Flaps full, of course, not the overweight landing procedure. The runway, oh, I forgot to fill these in as well. Wish it did this automatically. But anyway, runway altitude is 11. Runway heading is 269. Right, so let's calculate. Okay, so with that extra fuel that I thought about taking, it means that I'm gonna have to use maximum manual braking to get in there. So let's just say I didn't take that extra fuel, or certainly not quite as much. Let's just drop that down to 58 tons, and let's calculate that. In fact, to be fair, that really doesn't make too much of a difference. So yes, we can get in, yes, we can stop before we drop off into the med, but we're gonna have to use maximum manual brakings. So let me go back to our OFP and think, well, okay, I'm going to take just half a ton of fuel extra, which, again, because if we had to divert, we had to go around, we had to get into Malaga. There's no reason we can't get into Malaga unless the runway has disappeared. Because I know there was an issue with Malaga, wasn't there? When the sim was first released, it had a runway missing. But anyway, in the real world, of course, that wouldn't happen. Let's take 4.7 tons. Yeah, 4.7 tons of fuel. And you have to do a pre-dispatch, I've forgotten the official title for it, but a pre-dispatch landing calculation to make sure that you can actually get in before you depart. So that's now done. Refueling is underway. Let's get the passengers on board. VATSIM, yeah, we do we calculate it without reverse, because obviously we can use reverse thrust. Not all airports like it, but do it without reverse because it's for contingency. What happens if we're going and for some reason we lose the ability to use reverse thrust in flight? So you always go with not the worst case scenario, but you would plan to land without the use of reverse thrust. Danny, what did I type into that fuel page? Sorry, good spot, Danny. Thank you. It should be 47. I've got the numbers the wrong way around. Right. Just tell the fuel guys. I don't want 74, I want 47. Good morning, HD. I thought you may be listening. Dispatch landing calculations. Thank you. The conservative landing distances compared to in-flight landing ones. So we could do an in-flight one, which then obviously that's perhaps a little bit more relevant to us, but it's a legal box ticking exercise. There we go. That's the correct fuel. Now we can get the APU bleed is on. Give that a minute, get the packs on. I'll start getting passengers on board as well. So now we've done that, fuel's loading, let's have a look at setting the box up. Self-loading cargo is all ready to go. Berlin2407, thank you so much for subscribing Tier 1 on Twitch as well. Really do appreciate that support, Berlin. Apologies I missed that initially just whilst going through that initial setup, but very, very kind of you. Thank you, Berlin. Right, self-loading cargo. We're good to go.
Refueling is underway and the bags are starting to get loaded, so let's open the doors and allow our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Okay, so we need to go to the ATSU, we need to go AOC, get the init press just to bring in all the information from SimBrief. There we go, flight time is 59 minutes. Back to our AOC, weight and balance. Passengers now boarding, so on they come. Alright, data page. IRS, we've got 3 nav green, aircraft status, LEAP engines, and we have the correct AirX cycle. Init A page, get our ACARS uplinked. Berlin24 says, definitely worthy of the sub. You absolutely love the channel. Thank you for all your help and guidance. Berlin, thank you so much for those kind words, and look forward to seeing you on more flights in the future. Right, we are headed to Malaga as the alternate. Oh, I've put that in the company route. Go away. That'd be quite nice if that worked eventually. Particularly for routes that we fly regularly. Flight number is Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Cost index is 8. Flight level 390, and we've got a... why does it say my flight number's in use? Flight number in use? Okay. It doesn't actually make a difference in the sim, but let's just put Easy 34 Alpha Mike in there. There we go. Flight number 390, and the temperature is minus 55. Tropo 35152. This is getting closer and closer every time we do this now. 35152. It used to be way off, didn't it? But it's great now. Arrival into... departure is runway 36 right. And we're on the Victor Tango Bravo 1 Romeo. There it is. Insert that, just scroll through, check that duplicate waypoint and discontinuity. And then the arrival at the other end. Ah, well, it doesn't have any stars, does it? So, but I should be able to select the runway. Well, that's interesting. Why can't we select a runway? Okay, do you know what? Might have to sort of manually pop this in. HC, could we just put the waypoint in Lima X-Ray Golf Bravo 27? Would that work here? We'll just clear that discontinuity. Obviously, it's a visual arrival into Gibraltar anyway. But yeah, that's strange. Not sure if anyone else has ever had that issue. I mean, to be fair, that is absolutely correct. We do go direct from Piamos to Gibraltar, and if I look at the charts as well, there are a couple of waypoints I can add. I think, is it waypoint Yankee coming into runway 27? So it seems like there's a few of us can't actually select a runway. So we've got the Navigraph database as well, so I would have expected that to have been correct. That's really very, very strange. Yeah, weird. Very weird. Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna have time to have a look at that in the flight. So what I can do is I could perhaps put in Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27 for now. See if we can enter that. Didn't like that, did it? Okay, let's go to the data page. Let's oh, hang on. I want to create a custom waypoint here. So let's just call this I don't know. I'll call it Alpha Romeo Romeo for arrival. I guess there's going to be some in the world called that anyway. So the place is going to be Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27. Bearing. There really isn't going to be one, is there? So can we create the runway instead? Let's have a look. So HD, if we go to the runway's left side key, let's try that. This is the problem where the stream's 30 seconds delayed. So let's go to the data page and left side key for runways. Ah, it doesn't work. What about stored runways? No, that doesn't work either. I can create waypoints, but I can't create anything else other than waypoints. So alright, tell you what, let's get airborne, then let's see if we can amend it in flight. At the end of the day, it's still going to be a nice visual approach, so it's not going to prevent us from doing the flight. Let's just see what it looks like on the navigation display as we go. So, just scrolling through. Yeah, so that is actually what's going to happen. Does Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27 not already exist? Well, I would have thought so, HD. I've just tried to add that. I'm going to try it. Let me just try one more time. Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27. Pop it in there. It's not letting me enter that anyway. I'm sorry. I've just realised you can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to edit this into here, and it's not working. So strange. Okay, well, yeah, it's going to prevent us from using the arrival page. So for arrival, we may just have to do this sort of ad hoc. All right, let's move forward, shall we? Because there's looks like not much I can do at the minute. Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27 does work in the fixes page. Okay. You suspect Navigraph hasn't got any data for Gibraltar. That is strange. That is very strange. Yankee's going to be put in there anyway in a little bit. I'm going to look into this en route. Let's just crack on for now. So, RadNav page here in Madrid. Let's just get that up and running. Doesn't help that I haven't got charts either on my screen, which is a real pain this morning. The Navigraph app also seems to be having a moment on the phone. Maybe Navigraph's just bugged totally this morning. Let me have a look. What's the VOR here in Madrid? It is Bravo Romeo Alpha, isn't it? There we go. Let's get the RadNav page sorted. That's it. Okay, on to init B. 0 fuel weight 55.5, that is correct. Trip wind, headwind of 1. What time did I say I wanted to be away for? Don't think that's going to happen, is it? Fuel planning suggests 3.2. And what have we got? We've got 4.6. That gives a takeoff weight of 59.9. And fuel for the alternate is, call that 0.9. In fact, no, let's call that a ton. After we've gone around the rock, etc. Extra 26 minutes of flight time. Okay then, so on to the performance page. We'll just restart SimSmart, so we know we've got clean calculations coming up. So here we are, Madrid. It's going to be 3-2 right for our departure. Sorry, 3-6 right. 3-6 right for our departure. Get that latest METAR. QNH is still 1017. That's good. Runway conditions dry. Anti-ice will be off. That takeoff weight is going to be, what was it? Takeoff weight is planned to be 59.9. So we'll call that 60. Takeoff CFG is forward still at the moment. It's going to be flex config 1. Packs will be off. We will be using full length today because our taxi takes us up there. So let's calculate that. Yeah, that's what I expected. Flex 70 because it's not a short runway, this one. So onto the perf page, we'll get those entered. 142, 142, 143. Transition altitude 13,000. Thrust reduction and acceleration here is 2942. Acceleration is 4942. And the engine out 2942. Flaps 1, flex 70. Good. Okay, all that's done. All right, so we're ready for a brief. First of all, the weather here, Madrid, it's fine, isn't it? Absolutely no issues getting back into Madrid. If we have any problems, aircraft is the experimental version of the fly-by-wire A320NX. No NOTAMs here that I'm going to particularly take note of this morning. We've got no air traffic control. There are some works and things going on at Madrid at the moment, but to be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to scan through the pages and pages of NOTAMs for Madrid Airport, so we're just going to taxi straight up via Mike to Yankee 1. Threats to be aware of. There is high terrain around Madrid, of course, so I'm going to bring up the charts as well on the flypad in a minute. As I say, for some reason it's missing off my PC. I need to reinstall Navigraph. So can I just quickly, will it allow me to do this? See if this works. So yeah, look at all of these. Now where's the taxi chart? Yeah, you can see all the works that are currently taking place. If I could filter these, that would be lovely. Here we are. So we're parked right down here. We're going to push back, taxi then on Mike, which is all the way up here. We take a right just there, and then we taxi on Mike all the way up to November Yankee, and we're going to hold at Yankee 1. Now, the actual SID that we've got today, there is a speed restriction, VTB1 Romeo. Let's see if we can just find that. See, on the Navigraph app, you can actually filter these out. Victor Tango Bravo 3, Victor Tango Bravo 1 Romeo, that's the one. So here it is. So we've got a max speed of 210 knots. So SimSmart Venator, SimSmart is still in beta testing. It's not yet released. Hopefully a couple of weeks and it should be available. So stay tuned to the channel for more information on that. So we're going to max 210 knots, then 220 knots until we've reached Mike Delta 48. Let me just see what our speeds are. So clean is going to be 206. Well, we may as well fly. We could fly at the max speeds, or we could just fly that at green dot. We may as well just save a bit of fuel. We'll fly at green dot. That'll get us up high as well. So let's fly at green dot then, which we'll pop that in 206 as a pre-selected speed. Done. Okay, so I've briefed where we're taxiing. We've got the chart up just here. I can leave that up now so you've got access to that as well should we need it. Emergency brief, standard Airbus emergency brief. It is a non-standard engine out departure here. If anything goes bang after V1 with the engine, then we're going to climb 3,000 feet, then make a right turn to the Asbin holding point. I'm going to get that entered down here in the fixes page, just so if we need it, we can use it.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
Great stuff, thank you very much.
HD, that's a good shout. We can leave it in managed speed. It will be interesting to see if that will work actually. That will be interesting to see if it'll work. Although looking down here, I'm just looking at these do seem to be programmed in, so yeah, let's leave it at managed speed. It didn't used to work this in the sim. Let's leave it in managed speed and see what happens. We can just clean up as normal. Fingers crossed. That will wait. That will work, hopefully then. Right. Final checks. And then I think we'll be good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. My name is Gavin, and I would like to welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft. We expect a good flight with you today with no weather problems showing in front of us, so we should be pushing back within the next few minutes or so. For now, the ground crew have now finished loading the last of the baggage into the aircraft, so if you can get yourself seated and secured, then we can make sure we can depart on time. The cabin crew will shortly be providing their safety demonstration video, so it would be appreciated if you could give them your full attention. A special welcome on board to our EasyJet Sim pilot members, and if you wish to inquire about becoming a member, please contact a member of the cabin crew. All our EasyJet Sim pilot members are of course entitled to free drinks throughout the flight. Thanks very much, and we'll give you an update once we are airborne.
Okay, so let's do the before start checklist. Cockpit preparation is all complete. Our signs are on and auto. It is, we've got 3.5 green and our fuel quantity is 4680. FMGS is set, altimeter is 1017 and we've got 1990 feet. Now is the jetway disconnected? No it's not, let's tell that to go away. HD, as if I would forget to manually increase after passing each constraint. I don't forget things. Oh, you know me too well. Right, final check that there's no ATC around. No, sadly no ATC around. We're on our own here. I think we'll be about ready to go then in a moment.
Cabin crew, we're about ready to push back, so if you can please hold the door down, crash check, thank you.
We'll get the ground crew into position.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Hope everyone's having a good morning and looking forward to a nice flight down to Gibraltar. Hopefully giving you guys something to do if you are working, or if you finished work for the day at the other side of the world, then a nice relaxing Thursday evening. HD, yeah, you forget things. All pilots do, Willie. You're quite right. I was quite obviously being sarcastic, and for anyone that watched the stream yesterday after a week back, there was a ton of things that I forgot.
Pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Standing by for pushback.
Right, we're on 1228. Let's let anyone else here at Barajas know where we are and where we're going. Madrid traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, pushing back from stand Tango 27 facing north. So we get the beacon light turned on, start the timer, acupressure's in the green, transponder to standby, and let's start the push. Quick look behind us actually, just before we do that. Yep, all looks good. Danny, do I have the strange routing? I did see that. I was hoping the aircraft would sort of sort itself out after we've departed, because yeah, there's a little strange thing going off there. I'm wondering if the latest AIRAC cycle from Navigraph might be a bit bugged. It might need updating at some point. Might be worth checking that. Let's put that back into art mode. So if need be, I may even fly that little sector manually.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
And back we go. Okay, starting engine 1, engine mode selected to start. Starting engine 1. Tell you what we haven't
Ladies and
done.
gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If you land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes
Parking
around
brake
your
set.
waist. Click together
Startup is complete. You may
and pull the
disconnect.
strap to adjust.
Roger. Good
Do
engine
not
start.
inflate
Cleared
it
to
inside
disconnect.
the
See you
aircraft.
outside. Have a good
When
flight.
outside, inflate by
Holding
pulling the
position,
toggle.
waiting for the visual.
If
Thank
it
you and
fails to
goodbye.
inflate or needs topping up, blow
And
into the
starting
tube.
engine 2.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Yeah, so you can just turn off the fly-by-wire announcements. I leave the cabin ambience on and turn the fly-by-wire announcements off. That was the reason I knew the flight deck door was still unlocked. I could hear I could hear the cabin, so I knew the door was open, which is pretty neat. So yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on this departure, because That doesn't look too accurate, that does it? I mean, if we actually have a look on here, it's straight out then at 2,500 feet, a right-hand turn. Engine number 1 is stable, so have to start flows. Oh, that's interesting. My ignition starter switch doesn't appear to be working. Oh, there we go. I think the sim's having a bit of a moment, which is concerning. Okay. Well, starter switch is back now to normal. APU bleed is off. Anti-ice not required. APU master is coming off. And we'll do the spoilers, rudder, flaps 1. And set the trim. Have to start checklist. Anti-ice is off. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trims 25.4. Rudder trim 0. Flight control check. Full left, neutral. Full right, neutral. Full up, neutral. Full down, neutral. Rudder. Full right, neutral. Full left, neutral. Okay, let's make the ATC call for the taxi. Madrid traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxiing via Mike November Yankee 13 to holding point Yankee 1 for runway 36 right. Okay, so I've got my ground chart in front of me. Let's see if we can follow this all the way up, shall we? Taxi light on. I just pop the auto brake in as well. I could have done a single engine taxi for this, but never mind. Release the parking brakes, and just whilst we're taxiing, I'll get those on now before we go. Less to worry about. Much easier to do in the real aircraft, of course. You can just quickly bob down and flick those on. So what should we do in this taxi then, guys? Put the world to rights, write a symphony, redesign the next Concorde. It's a long taxi. Okay, nice and straight all the way up here on Mike for the time being. It's much easier in the real aircraft because someone else is doing it. Yeah, that's true. That too. Okay, let's do our PEDS check. So, the performance hasn't changed. It's going to be Flex 70, QNH 1017. Engine out procedure, remember, is non-standard, so 3,000 feet is going to be a right turn to the Asbin holding point. Inbound course 270 and holds our left turns. Departure is the VTB1 Romeo. It's not looking correct at the moment, however, on the navigation display, but we can manually fly that and sort that as need be, but we need to just bring that into our scans to make sure that it's working correctly. Stop altitude is 13,000 feet. Before takeoff, checklist to the line then. So flight controls have been checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap settings config 1, FMA and takeoff data 142 blue, 143 magenta. Goodbye yellow truck. Climb nav blue, 1 FD2, 13,000 blue and flex 70. Transponder is set. Eco memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed. Wow, there's a whole host of ground crew that don't want to see tomorrow today. So, just need to get our bearings here. We basically are staying on mic all the way up here. We've got a right turn coming up shortly. HD, yeah, is NADP1 just here. Now I need to make the correct right turn here, which should take us on to mic 16. Which I believe is not this first right, but the second right. Yeah, that's right, because that's Sierra that we've just passed, and then here onto mic 16. Is this how the chat goes in the real world, HD, when you're at airports you're unfamiliar with? So yeah, it's this one, yeah, pass that one, pass this. Is that what you guys are doing? One of you's just map reading while the other one steers. Okay, good. This is now mic 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, etc. And Karthik, thank you very much for the subscription. So we now stay all the way on here until we get to the end. Actually, this taxiway should run out and just bear left. HC says yep. Good. Good to know. Fortunately, you can read the yellow signpost quite easily and from a distance. Well, it's strange because I'm looking at this now. I can't read that unless I zoom into it. It's almost like the yellow is too bright in the sim for you to actually be able to read them. Ronnie Sutherland says, good evening from Brisbane. Of course, you've had so much rain. We've been hearing about that on the news here in the UK. Hope everyone over there is safe and well. But yeah, it's been bad, hasn't it? HC, once you get the airplane symbol on the charts, it'll be easy. Oh, that's cheating. That's almost like being in the simulator and using Volanta, or whatever it's called. I know you can connect the Navigraph charts as well to it, so you can use that. You can really cheat, but it'd be nice to know once that's implemented in the real aircraft, then I may consider doing it here in the sim, because then it would be more realistic, wouldn't it? Rusty Dog, winds are prevailing, so it's going to be runway 27. We have westerly winds today. So, apologies to everyone who was hoping for a 09 arrival. Okay, yeah, this is it. We now bear left. Oh, look at that! There's a Thai 380. That is fantastic. That's AIG. Remember, that's actually live traffic, so that should... not live traffic, sorry, that's VATSIM traffic, so that should really be there. Now, interestingly enough, is he pushing back, or is that my imagination? Madrid traffic, just making aware to the Thai aircraft on the northeastern terminal. We're just taxiing behind you. William Blanton, good afternoon. Is it afternoon already? I thought I just made the call because I could see his beacon lights were on, etc. So I was just wondering if he's moving. I don't think he is, actually. That's really nice to see. Having my Navigraph charts on my phone means that my phone keeps turning off, which is annoying. Okay, there's our departure runway over there.
Cabin crew, if you could take your seats for takeoff.
Oh, it's starting to rain. So at what point do you change the performance calculations we've done?
Start taxi Kilo Alpha runway 36 left Barajas.
Looks like that rain's coming in quite heavy as well. What's the temperature? Packs are coming on. Packs will be on. So we will look to update the performance change. Oh, don't scroll around and try and steer your aircraft. It doesn't work. I keep forgetting about that. I keep thinking that rain looks bright, but then of course the taxi lights are illuminating it, aren't they? Okay, we now have a wet runway, packs on. Flex 67. Let's just check how that affects things down in the perf page. Oh, how frustrating that the weather now actually plays a part. So, V-speeds haven't changed. That's okay, but flex is now reduced to 67. Good. Oh, what am I doing? I've turned the packs are going to be off. Numpty. It's anti-ice that's going to be on. That's better. 65. 142, 142, 143 and 65. I expect everyone in the chat that will have spotted that, and I'm 30 seconds behind you, so at least we spotted it. There we go. Packs off and anti-ice on. Flex 65. That is exactly what I expected, actually, with the with the anti-ice coming on. Okay, so we'll pop that on. Lovely. There we go. Madrid traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, lining up for departure runway 36 right on the Victor Tango Bravo 1 Romeo departure to the northeast. The live weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator always never fails to amaze me. And the fact that it actually affects what we do in the sim is even nicer. Danny says now the weather's cleared up again. It doesn't matter. It's now a conservative takeoff. I've still got it spitting here actually, and those clouds have rolled in a little bit. In fact, was the weather just bugged at minute? I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we, in the sim, where the weather just seems to be a little strange anyway. Where's the runway? Is this part of the runway? This is the worst displaced threshold I've ever seen, if that is the case. I'm not convinced the scenery's loaded correctly just there, so let's get on what looks a little bit more like tarmac. There we go. That will do. Before takeoff, checklist below line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS is TARA. Packs are off, and anti-ice is on. Right then, guys, let's go. Start the chrono. Takeoff. We just need to be prepared for this little leg here. So Start the chrono, roll in takeoff. Let's 50% M1. Engine stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS. No runway. Interesting. Is there no ILS for this runway? I'm telling you, I think the latest AirX cycle's bugged.
100 now.
Checked. A little bit of rudder needed with that wind from the left. V1, rotate. Nav.
Positive ring. Alright, gear up.
So we're just going to keep an eye on that departure there. So 2,500 feet, we should start turning. So I'm going to ignore the flight directors for the moment. We'll set thrust climb. So we've got thrust climb SRS. I'm going to go direct to 047. Let's pop that in. See if that works itself out. There we go. Autopilot 1 engaged. Get pack on. Pack 2. Yeah, it didn't like the fact that there was a... there we go. So we're now in climb. Didn't like the fact that there was a 2,500 feet constraint before that first turn, but we worked around that. Okay, now nicely accelerating away. Will be interesting to see how the speed holds. So there's S speed. We'll clean up. Shall ding the cabin. With no ATC around, let's clear ourselves up to a higher altitude. Let's let flight level 250. We're going to leave that in climb for the time being, however. Let's pull speed. So we've got 250 blue. Tell you what, it seems to be working, doesn't it? Look at that, we're holding 220 knots, giving us a nice climb rate up and out of there. We're about to pass 10,000 feet. Let's get our lights off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin.
Holding point, runway 36 left, heard up 1303, Barajas.
Includes e-cigarettes.
Clear the RadNav page out as well. Clear the fix info page for the engine out procedure. As we've just gotten through that first cloud layer, I reckon now we can release the cabin. So now we're above 10,000 feet. I'm going to go into open climb. And it's still respecting the speed constraints at the moment. So at this point then, would you use selected speed HD to wind it up? Otherwise, where's the last speed constraint on this departure? Yeah, it's going to be at 240 for ages. So could we pull speed and sort of select 290? They really do like you to get up high and away, don't they? Away from Madrid. Not disturbing those Spanish residents. So HD says there's two ways: select speed or delete the constraints in the flight span. I went for the former. I thought it was easier. So nose has been lowered. We're starting to accelerate away now. Great departure out of Madrid. Not so straightforward. Had to think about a couple of things rather than just sitting back and popping the autopilot on. Simon, you can delete the restrictions. Yes, of course you can. But the quickest action, considering there was 2 or 3 constraints still to go, the quickest action was just to pull and wind it up. And I can leave it now at 290 until we're well off, then pop it back into managed speed. And just whilst we're enjoying that view, I'm checking the progress page. Cruise altitude today is going to be flying level 390. That's also our optimum and maximum. So let's just jump back into the flight deck and let's select our cruise altitude, which is 390. And 390 blue. Those E-cams look a bit dark. Oh, everything is turned up full. It's just the bright sunshine causing a little bit of glare. Dr. Magic, when's the 20k party? It's coming. It's taking a bit of time to organise. Just because I do want to block out a full day for it, so it will come, and it will be announced ahead of time, so it won't be a quick right in 30 minutes it's starting. We'll give a few days notice for that. But yeah, we've definitely got to do something to celebrate, haven't we? Given you know, how wonderful all you guys have been helping us get up to 20,000 subscribers. Well, obviously we're past that now. I think we're maybe 20,300 subscribers, which is really, really amazing. Ace Airstream, you've been trying to fly along, but you've had a scenery outage. Is that one of those things where the entire scenery disappears and you end up with just water? I've had that happen to me once. It was very strange. So as planned, just before, I'm leaving that anti-ice on for quite a while. So we talked about that with the extra fuel that we loaded. We can see SAT's just slowly starting to creep up and up and up. Ace Airstream, what I would do is I would carefully go through all of your controller mappings, make sure nothing is conflicting with anything, because of course it can happen. Right, we're climbing away, and I'm very aware we've no runway at the other end, which is very annoying. If I use the perf page and then go to the arrival page, that's yeah, it's there, but we've obviously got information missing. So I'm going to try and add a place called Yankee. Okay, it wants me to add a new waypoint because it's not in the database. Alright, that might be possible if I can just bring up the charts for that. I'll show you this in a little while. So Yankee is 3 miles out from runway 27. So the place, of course, would be LXGB27. I think it would be 090 from there. I believe so. Yes, yes, so I think it's 090 on the 090 radial, and it's 3 miles out. So let's store Yankee. There, we've got that in. Let's see what that now looks like. HD, I didn't have the Yankee that long coordinate unless you'd got access to that. How does that look? There it is. Okay, so the runway is bugged, but I actually like that. By that point, I should be visual, given the weather today as well, so fingers crossed. All should work. Very strange that we're not able to select the runway for the arrival, isn't it? Very, very strange indeed. I am liking this though. The decel point is here. I think I'll be selecting that a little sooner than there. The Yankee waypoint might just be down as a Y. I'd not thought of that. I always presumed it needed at least 2 letters, so like for NDBs you obviously get 2-letter identifiers. I'd never thought of a single letter. Try Y in the fixes page. Okay. Format error. Yeah, I bet it only accepts 2 as a minimum. No matter. We've got a plan for our arrival. Now, should we give control of the aircraft back to the aircraft? The Lido charts just have it as a Y. Oh, right. So, let's now have a look at the Gibraltar charts. Oh, that's frustrating. Is the chart page bugged as well? Navigraph really doesn't like Gibraltar, does it? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I do have access to charts, but not here. So, let me try and talk you through the arrival using the plan page. As we're getting up to 39,000 feet. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Right, so it is a nice standard straight arrival, as you can see there. HD, that was a failure screen, but you haven't seen that. It's also not been verified as working correctly yet, but you can fail a few things. So what we can do is we can you can obviously see, let me just zoom out, we're coming in via Pimos, straight in on the approach to Pimos, and then from Pimos, as you can see, we basically are on finals. So the plan for me is by PMOS I'd like to, we want to be green dot as we approach PMOS. Flaps 1 then as we get away from PMOS, and then flaps 2 with the ILS. Now, interesting point. ILS, what am I talking about? There is no ILS. It's a nice visual runway. But yeah, flaps 2 then as we start to approach and we get visual with the runway. I wish I could show you the charts. It would make much more sense. Trying to do this on my phone is also a pain. So the idea is that at 5 miles out from the runway, we want to be at about 1,500 feet. So 5 miles out, 1,500 feet. Now, given that I've not got the runway put in there, I'm actually going to again use the fixes page and just put some range rings around this just to really help me. HD, no, sorry, I don't know if you were here at the start. I only noticed late on, Navigraph has just disappeared off my computer. It's uninstalled itself, probably because of the update that it kept asking me to do yesterday. So yeah, it's gone. I need to reinstall that, and I didn't want to do that once we were up and running because I thought that's just going to leave things and make things perhaps a little bit unstable PC wise. The sim's unstable enough without adding any more issues into the mix. Oh, actually, Nick, that is a good point. Actually, I'd forgotten about that. The previous RNAV approaches aren't available. That's a Brexit thing, by the way. So, yeah, we're basically just flying visual today. So let me go ahead and just put in these range rings because this is going to help me plan the approach as well. So I'm going to go to the flight plan page, fix info, Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27. So 5 miles out from that, we want to be 1,000. Well, technically, it's 1,520 feet. Yeah, I said 15. I said 1,500 and 1,508, and that is that's radio altimeter. But yeah, baro altimeter is 1,520 at 5 miles out. It's a shallower descent handle as well. It's only 2.8. HD, the RMP visual charts aren't in Navigraph. I think they may have been previously, but they're not now. And also, just to help with my altitude as well, I'm going to pop in a 9 mile fix there. Just because the reason I'm adding these is because I'm just not certain that I'm going to get any information up here on the top right of the navigation display. So Lima X-ray Golf Bravo. Oh no. Lima X-ray Golf Bravo 27 and a 9 mile ring around that. So now let me go and check out the flight plan page as we scroll down there. Yeah, so there we go. I want to be at about 3,000 feet at this point. 3,000 feet here, 1,500 feet here, and well, obviously it should be visual by that point. We've got minimum descent altitude anyway of 920, so all is well there. Anyway, I'll cruise. I can't even see the dial to turn, the sun's in the way. Right, there we go. We're at cruising altitude. So there's my plan. I'd like to be at the absolute latest. We want flaps 2 by this point here, 9 miles out, which means flaps 1 as we leave PMOS, green dot prior to getting to PMOS, and yeah, there we go. And Andy Finley, thank you so much for your membership. Welcome to the First Officers Club, Andy. Really appreciate your membership of the channel. If you're on our Discord server as well, please don't forget to make yourself known. We'll get you in the members lounge as well. So welcome, Andy. Welcome on board. Next thing to work out then is what's the distance between PMOS and Yankee. Does that tell us in here? "19 miles. So just doing some sort of quick calculation to work out how high we want to be at PMOS, then I can work out my top of descent. But if it's 19 miles, I would say we probably want to be... we've got to slow down as well, remember. I would say we probably want to be about... err on the side of caution. If we're 7,000 feet at PMOS, that should be fine. 7,000 feet at PMOS. Which means then, let's work out our top of descent point. We're at 39,000 feet at the moment. It's about 96 miles. The wind's not really going to play too much of a factor there. Let's call that 100 miles from PMOS, and we can refine that as we go using the track mileage. So let's now go again back to our fixes page. And just put a 100-mile radius ring around that. There's our top of descent. Fantastic. So we're going to be coming in on runway 27 via PMOS. Our transition altitude at Gibraltar is 6,000 feet. Platform altitude 5 miles. We want to be at 1,520. Minimum safe altitude around the airport, as we will actually be coming in, is 2,500 feet. But to the north is 6,800 feet. To the south, so that's important if we have a go-around, it's 3,900 feet. So if we have to do a go-around, we need to get above 3,900 feet, nice and safe, and we'll head just back towards PMOS, and we'll have another go. And remember, our minimum descent altitude for this non-precision approach is 920 feet. We'll get some weather for it in a moment. Airfield elevation is 12, and missed approach is clear the rock, turn heading 180, and climb 4,000. Lovely. Well, lots of Spain covered by cloud, it seems. Hope you're enjoying the flight so far, guys, particularly if you're working. Give you something to have on in the background. Shame we can't see some of the landscape beneath us. It's quite nice. Sim update. The next sim update. Sorry, world update. The next world update covers Spain, doesn't it? We do have a wind effect chart, HD. We do. So, oh, I wish I could show you this. So the main wind direction is around 270 degrees, which means that there is the potential for a bit of a downdraft just as we're coming in, but then at the last minute a slight updraft. I can't show you that chart, I wish I could, but if you do have access to Navigraph, of course, you'll be able to see this. Now, that really only occurs if the winds are coming from between 200 and 250 degrees. Our winds are 270, so hopefully it should be just straight down the line, and we shouldn't get too much of an issue. And as HC's just said, keep an eye on those winds. They are very important. You can't stress that enough. We've all seen the videos of aircraft trying to land at Gibraltar. A lot of the gusts and things and turbulence effects has also been updated in the last sim update, so that could be interesting. DRD Flyer, good morning. Hope you're well.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So I have just sent off a weather request, so we'll see what's happening weather-wise. Wind-wise. And the METAR has just come in. So here's the METAR for Gibraltar. We've got winds 240 at 16. There you go. 240 at 16. So it could be a little turbulent. Visibility is fine, however. A few clouds, 2,400 feet and scattered 20,000 feet. Temperature is 18. QNH is 1021 and no significant changes. Remarks blue blue. I don't know if that's a military thing. I do not understand what that means at all. So I'm just entering that into the performance page now. So that QNH again is 1021. Temperature 18, that sounds nice. Wind 240 at 16. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And the barrow will be set to 920. HD says 240 winds 20 knots maximum. And blue is a RAF weather code. Blue is good. Blue skies, presumably. Alvin Maria Joseph, is so stressful to commence descent. No, it's not. You've worked out how far away you need to be when you start the descent. And that's what I've got this little circle on here for. So I know when I cross that circle, then down we go, which is in about 13 miles actually. Hey Lewis, it's all going well. Christian, is that what blue actually means? Cloud cover 2,500 feet or above. Fair enough. You don't need to be smart to be in the RAF. I didn't want to say that, but I suddenly thought if they're using blue, it means they can see the sky from the ground. So yeah, that's just basic stuff, isn't it? We'll do a fuel check as well when we get to Vulp. On the same line, then, guys, do they have? Do the military have sort of grey for when it's raining, and black for when it's nighttime? Right, a fuel check as well at Vulp. What did we take? We took 4.5, which is 0.4 extra overall. So we should see at Vulp about 3.3. Let me see, is that what we've got at Vulp? Oh wow, this actually says 2.1. We've got loads more fuel than we need, which should be interesting for our landing. Anyway, there is our top of descent. We're going to begin our descent all the way down. We're going to just work for 10,000 feet at the moment. So down we go. Thrust idle, open descent, flight level 100 blue. Let's knock. Short question out of interest. When exactly did I start to stream on a regular basis, and when did I decide to do so? I don't think I ever decided. Let's knock. It's just, it has been a little bit of a snowball effect, this channel, and I'm thankful to all of you guys for helping it get that way, to be honest. But the channel's been going for about 18 months now. And it initially started after the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I just found myself trying to help so many other people in Facebook groups and chats and things, all having sort of similar issues. Well, there weren't issues, they just needed to know how to fly the Airbus. Because even the stock Airbus required some flight computer programming. And it wasn't just an aircraft that guys could just jump in and fly. So I uploaded 2 or 3 tutorial videos, and it kind of snowballed from there, really. Christian, they have blue, white, green, yellow, amber and red. And an unofficial black one, meaning Friday night in the mess hall. Okay, I'm going to pull speed there. We'll set 270 knots. Hold that. All I'm going to do now is I'm just going to monitor the distance to go. Andy, it looks like yesterday's stream was working again on YouTube with the full length. Oh, that's good. That's really good, because that was really annoying, wasn't it? That coming back to watch it, you'd only got sort of like the last 15 minutes. YouTube was playing silly beggars yesterday. It really was. The stream kept dropping out for some reason, and everything was fine here. We were flying, no performance issues whatsoever. Streamlabs is saying all's good. So, yeah, there was nothing I could do, really. So fuel's good. If we need to do a go around, we've got plenty of extra fuel in the tank for another go. And even though it's nice weather, we can't rule out a go around at Gibraltar, particularly with those winds that we've just seen updated. So if you're currently at work, guys, watching us in the background, just have a quick break, hit the like button on the stream for me. Makes a huge difference to the channel. I can't tell you how much of a difference the video likes do for the channel. It means we get recommended to more people, and hopefully we'll get some, we'll be able to grow our community even more, help some more folk fly the Airbus. So thank you to everyone who has liked that. Hit the like button already. Let's Knock says, awesome. Yeah, first found you near the release of Microsoft Flight Sim, and since your growth has been remarkable. Fun streams and good videos, by the way. Oh, thank you, Let's Knock. It's been a while since we've chatted as well. I do recall seeing you on previous flights, so thank you for that. So now, very closely monitoring our distance to go. We've got 90 miles to go, that's 30,000 feet. We're at 28. Let's keep this descent up. Alwyn, could I please make a video on when to descend and how to descend? So Alwyn, that's already done. If you check the channel out and, I don't know, maybe pop a search in YouTube for EasyJet Sim Pilot, top of descent or how to descend, something like that. It'll bring up the video for you. So you can just see on the screen now, there is Madrid. So if we had the secondary flight plan working at this point, I'd probably have some sort of approach already planned for Madrid right now. Just in case. RLS Print and Design, good morning my friend, it's been a while. Good to see you back on stream. Says, hi everyone, haven't had time yet to do the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator update. How's it been for everyone? Any issues? None for me, has to be said. So far so good. So we've already briefed our approach, we did that a while back, we know what we want to happen, when we want it to happen, etc.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Oh, that's annoying. My tea has just got to the perfect drinking temperature and now I'm going to have to concentrate on flying. Ahmed says, thank you for all of your videos. They're always very helpful. Would you do a series on VATSIM, particularly speaking the lingo with ATC? Ahmed, I think because it's so unpredictable on that, I think the best thing to do is, if you can, just watch some of the streams where we've got, particularly maybe the later in the evening streams, when there seems to be more VATSIM ATC online. And of course you can go back and watch past streams. They will really help. And you will pick it up. Felix says, I found your channel about a month ago. Love the tutorial series on how to fly the A320, 230, 320. I subscribed and really enjoyed the streams. Felix, that's great to hear. Thank you so much. And of course, any questions, get yourself either in the Discord server and we can help you out. How are we doing? 70 miles. We're at 22.5. I want to see where we are in about 10 miles time. Willie, is that the link to the top of descent video? Dr. Magic, we could do a T-hold. I like it. Willie, how to make a ham sandwich. I wouldn't... you don't want to watch me make a ham sandwich. It's usually done in anger with 4 kids chomping at the ankles. So it's just bread, throw a slapdash of ham in there and shove it in their mouths. Jen says, ATC in Gibraltar. No, sadly afraid not. We can now just see the coastline coming up though. I'm going to wind that speed up a little bit. I'm just teetering on the edge of the profile, but I want to be able to slow down. Samick, when do I think the Phoenix 320 will be released? Just when it's ready, Samick. They're not going to release an inferior product, so it'll be worth the wait. Promise. Willie, I need to do a video now because you've claimed it exists. Maybe in the VIP lounge on Discord. Samick and I absolutely have no clue about the 737. Andy, you went on VATSIM and on Zerba mode to follow someone the other day, waiting for takeoff. You got bored waiting in the queue at Heathrow, so you disappeared. Yeah, so 59 track miles to go. Profile's looking okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we've just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around, that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a EasyJet Sim Pilot channel member, please contact a member of your cab crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed your flight.
Okay, we're going to start concentrating on the approach then in a moment. Lewis, have I got any plans for after this? Oh, I wish I could do something like the return journey or something like that. I do, Lewis, but sadly life gets in the way. Maybe one day I'll be a pro streamer. Who knows? Lucien says, hello from France. You're a big enough flight simulator. Thank you for streaming. Lucien, stick with us. We'll have you flying in no time. HD's lost the internet, but he's back now. Am I not on Navigraph? I am. I do have to access to Navigraph, but for some reason my computer's decided to have a moment and say, no, you're not launching Navigraph today. So, Francis, how can I tell that I'm on profile? I'm just using maths at the moment. So what have I got? I know that at 30 miles out, I roughly want to be about 10,000 feet. And I have got how many track miles to go? I've got 48 track miles to go. We're at 14,000. We're going to get the seatbelt signs on now as we start to secure the cabin and get ready. So, landing checklist. Arrival brief is done. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are set 920. Engine mode selector is normal. EFB is stowed.
If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Yeah, so just using the rule of 3 to monitor the profile. So you can start right at the beginning. 1,000 feet, you want to be 3 miles away. 2,000 feet, 2 times 3, 6 miles. 3,000, 3 times 3. 4,000, 4 times 3. 5,000, 5 times 3. So 10,000, 10 times 3 is 30 miles away. But you always want to have that little extra time, that little extra track mileage to sort of slow the aircraft down. Because I'm going to reduce now as we approach 10,000 feet. We're going to hold it back to 250 knots. Of course, the aircraft will level off a little bit whilst it reaches 250 knots, and then it will continue to descend. I'm actually now going to set 6,000 feet on here. So we're going to pull that, and we're going to set the local QNH, which is 1021. Set that on the standby as well, actually. Should have done that a bit sooner, but never mind. Haiti says you might want to consider the auto brake. Well, strangely enough, I was going to use manual braking, but just in case, let's pop auto brake medium on there. And William championing the 100 likes. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for getting the stream up to 100 likes. That's really kind of you. Let's reduce that speed now to 50 knots. And as we come past 10,000 feet, let's activate the approach phase so we don't forget that. This is the last airport. This is the last airport that you'd want to forget that when you go to manage speed. Okay, a little bit of speed brake as well, just because I wanted green dot by Pimos. So I don't mind being getting lower than the profile right now, because then we'll level off momentarily while we drop down to green dot. 29 miles to go.
Cabin crew, if you could prepare the cabin for landing, we should be arriving shortly.
Okay, so into manage speed, and I'm just going to monitor that speed. We're bleeding off nicely. Jens, can I do a replay? I tell you what, that's a good shout, and I hate the fact that I've got to do this. I need to do this very quickly as we are on VATSIM, so let me just turn dev mode on, apply and save, go back, resume. There, replay is now enabled. Get rid of that. We'll do that in a moment.
We will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Okay, we can now just start to see the rock. I'm going to start configuring as well. So, flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. I'm going to pull speed. I don't want to reduce all the way down just yet. So we're about 17 miles out. Gibraltar traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, establishing now for finals runway 2717 miles. Thrust saddle, open descent 3000 blue. And remember, I wanted 3000 by this point just here. So if we're happy there, then we're good.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
We're going to start heading down as well, so I want to get flaps 2 out. We'll just reduce the speed 180 knots. Looking a tad high again. A little bit more speed brake. Okay, now we'll get flaps 2 out. Speed's checked, flaps 2. Now all we have to do is spot the runway. We can see the rock. The blue stuff's getting closer. And at this 5 mile point we want to be at 1500 feet, or fractionally above. So just set 1500 blue. And I think my charts have disappeared again, but it's a little bit of a, they kind of want a step down arrival plan into this, so that's actually looking quite nice at the moment. We'll level off 1500. It looks like we're nicely on profile. Let me start the replay now, then I won't forget it. And because it is going to be a fully visual approach, I don't want to be messing around with gears and flaps and things. So we're going to start configuring now. That's speed alt star coming up to 1500 feet. So let's get a landing gear on the spoilers. We'll go flaps 3 and just pop that into manage speed. So we start to bleed off that airspeed. Flaps 3. Lights. Ding the cabin. And remember guys, no butter. No butter. Butter is bad here. Right, there's our runway. We're visual, we're obviously not aligned with it, so let's sort that out. Just get back on that centre line.
100 above.
I'm already ahead of HD for once. Flaps 3 now. Flaps full. So, landing checklist. 4,000 feet on the missed approach. Cabin secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude 4,000 is set. ECAM. Landing memo. No blue. Purely visual, we're using PAPIs. Remember, there could be wind shear, so let's get ready just in case we need to toga it away. Slight overcorrection, just lost sight of that centre line there. Get her back on.
$300.
There we go.
$200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Spoilers deployed. Reverse green. Manual braking. 70 knots, reverses off. Loads of room. Don't know what the touchdown rate was there, but we don't care.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you. Checking in the seat
Some
pocket,
flair is fine.
underneath the seat,
I didn't want to
and in the
overdo it.
overhead lockers. Do take care of opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
Well, that's a good point. We're on the runway, so those lights should probably have remained on. Gibraltar traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, backtracking on runway 09. Serious question, is there a speed limit on the runway? I know that sounds daft, but we know that straight line is 30 knots. But is there a speed limit on the runway? If you have enjoyed the flight today, guys, and you're on your way out, please do hit that like button. Nice Lufthansa Airbus there as well. Let's vacate. Gibraltar traffic, runway 27 vacated. Nice short taxi onto stand. Turn the lights back off now. Set that parking brake on. APU's already on. Weather radars. TCAS. Get the APU bleed on. External powers available. And engine 1 shut down. Engine 2 shut down. Lovely. Well guys, welcome to Gibraltar. Okay, let's just go through the final flows as well. We've got the fuel and pumps off. Connect the external power. Beacon light can come off now. Seatbelt signs as well. Transponder to standby. Squawk 2000. There we go. Danny, yeah, this is handcrafted by Azobo, an Azobo handcraft. And there we are, guys. Welcome to Gibraltar. About an hour's flight, 2-hour stream for you today. So that's been a quite nice way to spend a Thursday morning. Hopefully you've all enjoyed that. And well, who doesn't enjoy a Gibraltar? It's handcrafted scenery. This, yeah, in the I don't know which model. This is the premium deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I don't know if that makes any difference or not. But it is. It's great, and it's one of those airports that everyone loves to come and land at because it's not straightforward. Short runway. You've obviously got water at either ends. Get it wrong, you end up in the Med. QRF, thank you for subscribing as well. So let's have a look at the replay, shall we? Oh, why is that not started? We started the replay, did we not? Oh, that's very frustrating, isn't it? And I don't think I've got one that we can load. No. Oh, I wonder if something like shutting the engines down resets the replay. I'll have to remember that for next time. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm not going to be able to show you the replay. That's really frustrating, isn't it? That would have been lovely to see. Never mind. Next time we do a replay, I won't shut engines down. But I'm loving that sound of the APU that we can hear as well. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday morning flight. Hopefully you guys have all enjoyed that and found that fun, giving you something to do as well, whether you're working, whether you're finished work. For those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during our flight today, thank you so much. To our EasyJet Sim Pilot channel members, as always, thank you so much for your support, and to HD for being around as well. But he's so busy, we've interrupted his cleaning regime this morning. So HD, you're welcome. Thank you so much, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next live. Now, unfortunately, I don't know when that's going to be. Normally we have a Friday night live, but unfortunately that's not going to happen tomorrow. I know for a fact, as sadly I am away again. So we won't have a Friday night live tomorrow. If I can manage to squeeze one in tomorrow afternoon, who knows? So stay tuned. Just make sure you hit subscribe, turn on that notifications bell, and of course, if you're in our Discord server, we'll let you know as well. Thank you so much, guys. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Bye bye.